Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar. Big Tuesday night in MLB. We got 6 of my favorite plays, including a couple big boppers in some good spots. A guy that is way too cheap, a starting pitcher on the high end that's in a great spot. And of course, my favorite play of the night, who we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Barn. Find out. Welcome in, guys. Tuesday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. The voice slowly coming back. We are back. 6 guys fresh off the tap. Thank you so much for hanging out here in the Fantasy Bar and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays, you guys know the drill. Take a second, click that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out tremendously. Video coming to you free of charge. All we're asking in return. Also, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. All right, let's set the table here for today. Before we do that, let's take a look back at yesterday. Max was definitely a monster. The bats were certainly too quiet. We hope to get them going much more here today. So we do have weather to keep an eye on. East Coast looking a little dicey with the rain, so make sure we're monitoring that. Also, Coors Field back on the docket here today. As always, the rule here in the Fantasy Bar, not going to bog down the video with a bunch of plays from Coors Field. We're going to give you some stuff outside of Coors. All right, fresh day. Let's get started in the outfield. George Springer of the Blue Jays. Now, you're going to see a couple favorites. You guys know I love me some George Springer. Once again, in a good spot, hitting well right now. A couple home runs over the last 2 games, and a nice 250 ISO against righties. Also hits the slider very well. That same 250 mark. And Bellotti going to throw that a ton. In fact, about 64% on average to righties. So good matchup, both righty and pitching matchup. Again, you can find that information in our Plate IQ tool here at RotoGrinders. And we don't have a lot on Bellotti, but what we do have is a power mix that certainly are giving up a ton of fly balls at over 50%, a hard contact rate approaching 40%. That is a recipe for home runs. George Springer in a good spot here against Bellotti. All right, let's go to the infield next. At second base with Jorge Polanco of the Twins. So another guy swinging a good bat, especially in the power department. 4 home runs, 8 RBIs in just the last 8 games alone. And big-time numbers here. We know Buxton a stud, but Polanco second on this team in both ISO and WOBA against right-handed pitching. Alexander, a guy that has really struggled with lefties. Numbers are bad. 405 weighted OBA log, 222 the ISO, and once again, our power mix is there at almost 40% fly ball rate. A hard contact rate north of 50% is not good, and a strikeout rate down at 13%. Not good here, Mr. Alexander. Love the Twins tonight. Jorge Polanco in a great spot. All right, I promise you a starting pitcher on the high end in a great spot, and that's Luis Garcia of the Astros. So I know the Angels can always make us nervous. You see Trout, you see Ohtani. There's some big bats in that lineup, but this guy has been good in the strikeout department. 7 strikeouts earlier this year against this Angels team, and has racked up almost 7 strikeouts per game over the last 5 with 34. Has had some big-time performances here, and good against both righties and lefties. You kind of neutralize both the Trouts and Ohtanis of the world. WOBA under 300 against both righties and lefties this season. And when you look at strikeouts, the Angels head and shoulders above everybody, approaching 27% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching. So the numbers are bad. I know the names are big here, but Garcia in a good spot here against this strikeout-happy LA Angels squad. All right, let's get you a value play, save you some money at first base for outfield, Darren Rock of the Giants. So great buy low here. I mean, his price is about as low as you're going to see. Went all the way back to earlier in the season as the last time I can remember him being sub 3K on DraftKings. So you get a heart of the order hitter at these prices. You certainly want to take advantage of it. You see the numbers against lefties, 217, the ISO 357, the WOBA form here, and very good against the sinker. You're going to see a lot of those from Dallas Keuchel about half the time. That's his pitch to righties. Not good here against Darren Ruff, both WOBA and ISO over 500 against that pitch. So big time numbers. Keuchel 379 WOBA allowed and a 39% hard contact rate. Darren Ruff, one of the better value plays on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, let's go to the outfield next. This one only available on DK with the doubleheaders. We're going Luis Robert of the White Sox. So we called him in off the bench the other night as a replacement, did as well. So we're going to give him a spot here at the Fantasy Bar and highlight how well this guy's been playing. 4 multi-hit games from over the last 9, but I really like the numbers against left-handed pitching. Really jump off the page in ISO at almost 300, a WOBA over 450. And when these numbers go all the way back to the start of 2021. So a very long-range track record here. Now, Pilkington, not been the worst. Some of the numbers that we see with some of these guys are terrible, but the power mix is there that we are always talking about. 41% fly ball rate, 36% hard contact rate. Robert been too damn good against left-handed pitching. Get him in those DK lineups here tonight. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play. Before we do that, let's continue our Beast of the Night contest. Easy to play. All you got to do, get in that comment section right below the video and get fantasy points for my highest scoring hitter on DraftKings. Closest guess wins themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. While you're down there, who's your favorite play of the night? Who's your Beast of the Night? Let's sound off in that comment section. Make sure if you haven't already, take a second and click that thumbs up button. All right, let's take a look at my favorite play. You know, Mass, Beast of the Night. All right, this time we're going to round out our outfield with another favorite here of the fantasy bar. We're rolling with our boy Giancarlo Stanton, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, anytime we play Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, obviously in play. If you can make him work, the stack is in play here. But I love what I'm seeing out of Stanton here, especially in the department that he is best. Those are the home runs, the power. 8 home runs for him over the last 15 games. 292 ISO against righties, so good power there. Gonna see a lot of cutters here. 269 ISO against that pitch. Checks that box as well. Ashcraft, 376 Woba allowed. Just a 13% strikeout rate, which is always one of the worries with Giancarlo Stanton. Kind of mitigates some of that worry. And a big 48% hard contact rate. I'm envisioning one of those Giancarlo Stanton lasers leaving the park here tonight. Hopefully twice. Giancarlo Stanton, easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Tuesday night Fantasy Bar. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter for a shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. Who's your Beast of the Night? I want to hear about it in the YouTube comment section. From RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck here on the slate tonight. We'll take a couple days off, and we will be back. Thank you for watching. Good luck, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist